You're listening to the Warriors of Dystonia Podcast, a podcast sharing the stories and journeys of people whose lives are affected by dystonia. My name is Carl and I'm the creator of Warriors of Dystonia. I've had dystonia since 2007 and I started this project to spread awareness of the condition. Each podcast will be a chat with someone who either has dystonia, cares for someone with dystonia, a representative from a dystonia charity, or perhaps a dystonia specialist. Warriors of Dystonia is all about awareness. The following podcast is with my friend Andy from Iron Mountain, Michigan. This is his journey with FND and dystonia, from its terrifying and sudden appearance to Andy's treatments, coping mechanisms, and his mission to spread love and awareness around the world.
It started off 2 years and 4 months ago to this month, because this June was my 2-year anniversary actually that I had dystonia and FND. I have a functional neurological disorder also. I worked at Frito-Lay for 13 years. I never had any issues like this, like ever any kind of body issues like this, at all like that. Yeah, so I came home for like any normal day. I sat down at the table. We were, me, my wife, and my daughter were sitting there. I was actually just eating Taco Bell. We were just eating Taco Bell, just chilling. I just got home from work. Everything was fine. I got a real sharp pain in my head on the right side of my head, in the back of my head right here, right. And I was like, oh man, like it like hit me pretty hard. You know what I mean? Like I could feel it. And my wife's like, my wife looked at me, and she's a nurse. She's a nurse actually. She's been a nurse for like almost 14 years now.
Okay.
So she knows a lot of stuff. And she goes, do you have a headache? And I was like, no, it doesn't feel like a headache. It feels kind of different. And then all of a sudden I was like, bam. And I was like, oh no, like something happened, and she's like, and she looked at me and she jumped out of her chair and she came around to where my chair was, and she told me to turn around. And when I turned around, she goes, stick your tongue out. And when I stuck my tongue out, it deviated to the left like this. And she goes, and she started to cry. And I was like, oh my God, like what's going on? Like I don't even know what's going on right now. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea what's happening. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, she goes, no, stick your tongue out as straight as you can. And when I did, it went out to the left again. And she like really started to freak out. And then as soon as that happened, man, I mean, like instantly, bro, just like that, boom, the whole left side of my body just like shut down. Like I couldn't feel anything on my whole left side. So she instantly thought I was having a stroke, which, that's the signs of a stroke. So what she did was she was totally freaking out at that point. You know what I mean? So she had my daughter called 911. They took me to the hospital. I don't remember anything up until when I was actually in the hospital a little bit. You know what I mean? Like up to that point, because I had kind of lost consciousness of what was going on because there was so much going on around me. And plus my body was so twisted and turned and crunched and crushed and just twisted in all different kinds of ways. And I was screaming too, you know what I mean? It hurt so bad. And I didn't know what was going on with my body, you know what I mean? And my face was really twisted this way to the deviated to the left. Like my jaw was like literally like crunched this way so hard that like the doctors were like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this before. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on with this guy? You know what I mean? When I laid in the room, I could talk to my wife, but I physically didn't know what was going on in the room, but I knew that my wife was there and my daughter was there. And then my son came there because he came right out of work. He was like, F this, I'm like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like my dad's hurt, something's going on. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So he came to the hospital right away. And when he came in the room, when he seen me, he instantly started crying and he walked out of the room. And I was like, whoa, like something's bad is happening. You know what I mean? Because I hardly ever see my son cry, hardly ever. He's not hard-hearted. He takes things real well. You know what I mean? Like things don't bother him too often. And whenever I see him cry, I know something's bad wrong. You know what I mean? So then I knew something was really, really wrong. So then they instantly they started asking me questions, like, can you feel this, Andy? Can you talk to us? Can you say anything? Can you move your fingers? Like just weird stuff, and like I couldn't do a whole lot of anything because I couldn't move anything, you know what I mean? Because I was so crunched up, and my wrist. If you see right now, actually, I have my wrist brace on.
Yeah.
This is because my if I don't, most days my wrist will crunch in, and
Right.
they'll crunch in so hard that it's literally like almost to the back of my wrist,
Wow.
especially on my right arm. So I have to wear it. I've been wearing these pretty regularly, pretty much every day now for a while now. But that's what did happen, and I couldn't I mean, I literally just couldn't do anything, you know what I mean? Like I was so twisted like a pretzel. They had never seen anything like this in their lives, you know, like even any of the doctors in the hospital, they were just blown away. They were like, we don't know what's going on with this guy, you know, let's get him a CAT scan right away. Let's get him a full body scan, you know, we want to see what's going on with this guy, you know, he's something bad's going on, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they gave me like a CAT scan. I think I took a CAT scan, an MRI, or I probably did every kind of scan you can probably do physically on your body. You know what I mean? I did a head scan. I did every kind of scan you could do physically in our little hospital here. It's a little hospital, but
Wow.
what they ended up doing, and I have no recollection or memory of this at all in any kind of way. I rode 2 hours away from this hospital to another hospital, which is in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And
Hmm.
so I went to the Green Bay hospital. They knew a little bit of what it probably could be. They thought I was having like total seizures, and they were like, this guy's having seizures bad. I don't know what are causing them, but he's got like super bad seizures. You know what I mean? Like I was having many pseudo seizures too. You know what I mean? Like my body would quake real hard, and I couldn't control it, and I couldn't stop it or slow it down at
Hmm.
times. And it still does that today. You know, up until today, it still does that sometimes. Like my wife will have to just grab a hold of me and kind of hold me and just hold. I mean, not really hold me, but kind of just like love on me and hold me when
Hmm.
it starts to happen because it hurts so bad, dude. I can't, but I don't know when they're going to come. They just come whenever they come. Well, then I started to see this other doctor, right? Well, this other doctor, he seen me and no, you know what? I've read on this other thing. It's called dystonia. And he goes, he goes, some of this looks a little bit like that. You know what I mean? Like just a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was actually the first doctor that actually was on to my dystonia. Wasn't really though, but kind of was. I'll tell you. You'll understand why when I tell you in a little bit. He ended up my doctor for a while, right? He would write my prescriptions, and but my symptoms started to get worse. You know what I mean? Like stuff wasn't working for me, and like the meds that I was taking, it was like having worse effects on me. You know what I mean? Like I started to I black out a lot, man. I probably black out maybe probably once a day, if not once every 2 days. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
every 2 days. You know what I mean? Like I just black out a lot. It's just it's my disease and it's my symptoms. I don't know what to do to control it. The only thing I do that I have been getting better at though is when I am gonna black out sometimes now, I actually feel it and I know when it's coming. Like it starts to feel real messed up in my
Hmm.
head, and then I know I'm about to go out, and I'll be like, "Hey, honey, hold this," or "Hey, bud, grab this." I'll set it down somewhere, and I know I'm fixing to be out. You know what I mean? Okay, so my wife was not good enough with what the doctors were telling them because my symptoms were getting worse. My wife is really the main person that dude that really found out what was actually wrong with me because she just kept and just kept on and kept on and kept on and just relentlessly did not give up. And I mean I love her so much for that, bro. I mean she did everything she could possibly do to help me figure out what my disease is, you know, what causes it, you know, where it's at, you know, like what's going on with me, you know, like everything that's happening to me. And she actually took me to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is 4 hours away from us. And that was the second hospital I'd went to. And she had actually worked at that hospital for like 10 years. She used to work in the cancer clinic. She's a cancer nurse actually. She knows everything about cancer that you would ever want to know, man. She took me there. They did a 24-hour EEG on me, which is they put these little they glue these little things in your hair, and it sensors on your head. It's like little sensors that detect stuff in your brain, like when your brain's thinking things or like things are going on in your brain. just to
Okay.
see what your brain's reacting to, like what your body's reacting to and shit. And they could tell by the EEG that I had somewhat of dystonia. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of it, they could see it in the EEG. And the one doctor had told me that. And once he had told me that, then I had went to another hospital, which was in Minnesota, which was 7 hours away. Okay, this was called the Mayo Clinic. This was actually a big help. When I went to the Mayo Clinic, I actually got to start actually doing exercises to help my brain, like to help my brain with, get along with thinking things better and stuff, like
Okay.
slowing stuff down. My brain now is kind of like mush at times. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but that's just the way it is. At times it just kind of it slows down like a little kid, and I can't, like, sometimes I'll be saying stuff and it'll come out wrong, or it'll come out like totally not the right way, or not even the right way at all. You know what I mean? I actually did physical therapy there, and I did things to help me to distract this so much. You know what I mean? My neck from pulling so hard constantly. This was the really unfortunate thing, though. Two doctors that came in the room at the Mayo Clinic, they said we're very, very for sure, that he has dystonia. And I was like, oh, great, at least I know what I have. You know what I mean? I didn't know about the FND yet until the next doctor I'll tell you about. I ended up doing really well at the Mayo Clinic. I learned how to do little tricks to help me out with my neck and stuff, to distract my spasms on my neck, for my neck not pulling so hard and stuff. Like if you see right now, man, like it just pulls like instantly by itself. Like I don't have to do anything, and it just pulls instantly all the way to my chest almost, dude. It makes my face sag a lot. I mean, I actually have a permanent mark here now because it does it so often. But the last day at the Mayo Clinic, that's when my legs started to mess up. That was the first day my legs started to mess up. The last day I was at the freaking Mayo Clinic. I mean, what are the odds? It just happened to be that day that my legs are screwed up now. So now my legs are messed up all the time now. Then my wife was like, shit, like she's not good enough. I'm still not good enough with it. She's still my hero, dude. She's still bringing it. She's bringing the pain. We end up going to the Cleveland Clinic, which was 10 hours away. Okay, the Cleveland Clinic was a blessing, man. Everybody that needs to go see somebody in the USA, anybody that goes to visit the Cleveland Clinic will find out everything they need to know about FND and dystonia, bro. And they need to go and see Dr. Yu. Dr. Yu is my doctor. The first day she seen me and my symptoms that were going on, because I instantly, as soon as she walked in the room, happened to be where I was having a hard time. I regularly smoke marijuana on a daily basis. It helps control my muscles, slow my muscles down. It gets me in a better frame of mind. I don't know if you notice or not, but I have headphones in. I wear my Beats all day long. I wear either these or my big red ones, as you see all the time. Music is another form of therapy for me. I don't even have to have it on high. I just got to have it on low, just enough to hear it, just enough to distract my mind just a little bit. It's all about the distraction of your mind is what it is that's causing my dystonia and my FMD to be so bad and so often, you know what I mean? Like where I'm not able to talk normal, and like my voice box will go into like 6 different kind of voices. Like I have 6 different voices, literally. It messes with my stomach super bad. My stomach muscles get so ripped sometimes, like they're so tight that I just feel like somebody beat me up inside. It's awful, man. It's a killer, bro. The first day that I went to the Cleveland Clinic, I didn't smoke any marijuana that day because I wanted the doctors to see what's going on with me. I want them to see my symptoms, exactly what's going on with me, bro. I didn't want to have any hesitation, about anything that was happening with me, about my body, like my hands, my arms, my legs, anything. So I told my wife, I said, today, I said, when we go to the Cleveland Clinic, I'm not smoking any pot. I said, I'm going to go there. I said, I know I'm going to be messed up. I said, but I want them to see exactly what's going on with me. You know what I mean? That's the only way it happened, bro. And I had to just suck it up for that time and just take the pain and abuse. You know what I mean? Like it beat me up bad. I mean, like if I don't smoke pot, bro, I'm hurting bad. You know what I mean? Like I'm hurting real bad. It was real bad in the room, or in my patient room. That was the first time I had met her, and I met another doctor also. The other doctor, he suggested at first to do Botox shots, right? So I tried Botox shots for the first 2 times, Okay, the first time I tried it, I got 2 shots here, 2 shots here, 2 shots here, 2 shots here, and I think 2 shots here and 2 shots here. They didn't do anything for like 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, oh my God, man, it was such a blessing, dude. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was totally amazed, like how much it really helped. And then it lasted for 2 months. And then the doctor told me that that was kind of not a good scenario, that it only lasted for that long. So unfortunately, guess what? The next time when I went and got Botox shots, he goes, well, I'm gonna turn it up just a little bit more this time. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So he turned it up a little bit more on the dosage, and it absolutely did nothing. So now I don't do Botox shots anymore because they're like $3,000, and like, why do it if it's not gonna do shit for me?
Mhm.
And so after that point, I didn't really see him anymore. So he was my Botox doctor, but that guy was really cool though. He really tried to help me as much as he possibly could, and he was really really a good influence on me. And he was actually the first doctor I had told when I very first started to run. You know what I mean? Like last year, I was running damn near every day, dude. Like I felt so good and so confident myself, and just my body was feeling great. And you seen it, like I would post it pretty often. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was pretty solid with it. But this year it's been totally different, man. Man, the body's really took a beating, man, this year bad.
Mm.
My dystonia, my FMD has really caught up to me bad, and it makes it really tough on your heart and your mind and stuff, because it really takes away the stuff that you enjoy. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy running, man. It gives me a peace of mind, where I can think about things, and not have to worry about nothing at that time, and just feel great and smell the fresh air, just breathe everything and just feel good inside and just let it all go. You know what I mean? That's what running does for me, man. It's like a total release, man. And I love it so much. It's such a good thing for me. It's like a therapy for me almost at a point. I've come to learn that since I have had this disease, for 2 years and like 4 months now, I've become to appreciate people a lot more. You know what I mean? Like I never really used to appreciate people as much as I do now, compared to when I did back then in the old days when I didn't have any diseases. I don't think I mean, I appreciated people, like, and I would be, I was very, very nice and considerate always, but never like now. You know what I mean? Like now, I feel like I'm a way better person inside even, and I care about people a lot more. I care about people's feelings. I care about what people are hurt. Like when I see my friends, post on Instagram or, wherever, like Snap or anything like that. They're having a bad day, everything. I try my very absolute best, just try to say something just to spark a smile out of them, to say, hey, thanks, man, for saying that, or whatever, bro, or just anything I could do to help, just help anyone. It's really, it's like my purpose now, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's just me now, like I just changed from being like this really different person to like being this really kind and gentle, giving person. Like I just care a whole lot about people, man, and I just want people to know about our diseases also, and I just want them to be aware about it, and like the struggles that we go through and stuff. It's hard, man. It really is, man. And and people that go through these diseases or whatever, man, they're heroes, dude, every day, man. I swear, bro. Like I mean, people that are even worse off than me and you, that are having like worse days than me and you. Like they're my heroes all over the world. I try to post it as much as I can, often as much as I can too, man. All my Dystonians out there, man. That's what I call them. I call them my Dystonians. That's my family, man. They're my family, dude. You're my family, man. Everybody around on the globe is my family, dude. We're all family, man.
Mhm.
All in one, man. I just love everyone, dude, and I just wish better things for people that do have our disease, and that if they ever had a question, if they ever, wanted to ask information, about something, or, or like maybe something that would be better for them to take, that could help a certain kind of thing that they got going on with their body, I'd be more than glad to, give her a suggestion or help of any kind, you know what I mean? Because I've taken lots and lots of stuff, and my wife is really good about knowing all the drugs too, which is really helpful, because she's a nurse, and she knows what all of them do and what all of the causes of them are. So it's really helpful that way, man. So she's actually a lot of my dystonia and FND friends on Instagram. have been really, really just beautiful people, man. Just beautiful people, dude. I mean, I can't ask for better people on here, man. I'm blessed to have as many friends and that care about me and that I care about them. You know what I mean? They've even gave me suggestions like for different kinds of drugs that try to help. One of the drugs actually, one of my friends suggested, it actually did help me. I started to get headaches every single day for a while, and I couldn't figure out why. You know what I mean? Like they just weren't going away. You know what I mean? It was like a continuous like headache, like all day long, like every day. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like, what do I got to do to get rid of this headache? So, I actually told one of my friends that has dystonia, and she's like, hey, try, have you heard of this drug? And I was like, no, and I told my wife about it, and she's like, oh, that kind of makes sense a little bit. So she actually, wrote my doctor, Dr. Yu at the Cleveland Clinic and suggested it to her while we're having a video chat. I actually do video chats with my doctor. That way I don't have to drive all the way to Cleveland now because it's like 10 hours away. And those rides are really tough on my body now, man. Like she thought that was a really good suggestion actually. And she's like, oh, I see why that would be a good suggestion. And she actually suggested it also. And I started taking the pills, bro. And sure enough, man, that cured up my headaches, bro. I'd never have a headache anymore. It's terrific, man. Like people on here, man, they love each other. You know what I mean? Like everybody loves everybody on here, man. Everybody's on here is trying to help each other out, even if even if they're having a bad day and it's just like a sad, depressing day. I have lots of sad and depressing days on here, man. I'm sure you probably see some of my sad posts on here that I make that are very, very sad. I go through my ups and downs like this, man, just like everybody else does, man. My life's like a roller coaster. I go and I see a therapist every week, man, and she's terrific, man. Her name is Kelly. I talk to her once a week. She's probably my best friend, dude. I can tell her anything about anything. She takes it all away, bro, and it helps so much. If you're like me and you have lots of body issues and problems like this, and just lots of sad feelings, I really recommend it. Just even have somebody you can go and talk to, just once a week, man. It helps so much, dude. I swear to God, man. I totally would recommend it to anybody on this planet. She is just like my best friend. She just sits there, she listens to me. I just feel out whatever I'm feeling, and she goes along with me. She gives me complete confidence and whatever I'm talking about. She gives me the best information I could possibly use for it, at the time, whatever it is, whatever the situation is that I'm having for that day, or that week. And she's helped me through so many situations, man. She's just wonderful, man. I love her so much. I told her the other day I loved her so much. She said she loves me too, man. She's like, I actually feel blessed to be able to have you as a patient because you're such a great guy, Andy. It's really nice to hear stuff like that too. You know what I mean? She's like, you're a really nice human being, Andy. I just wanted to say that to you, not to make you cry or I'm a crier, man. I won't lie, man. I'll cry, you know what I mean, a little bit here and there. Yeah, she said that. Now that was pretty special to me, man. I was pretty happy with that.
Let's have another call soon, man. It's been amazing talking to you.
I appreciate you, brother, so much, man.
I love that.
Appreciate the love, man.
No, you
love you,
take care,
brother, man. Love your family, man. Take care, man. It
was so cool to actually have that opportunity to speak to Andy. We'd been keeping in touch across Instagram for pretty much all of this year. We started speaking at the start of this year. Andy had reached out to me and asked me a bit about what type of dystonia I had, and we messaged back and forth. But I think it's not until you actually sit down and you speak to somebody directly that you really get to know them. And this was just an awesome experience. It was so good to be able to talk to Andy, to hear his story, and to find out a little bit more about him. After we'd recorded the podcast material there, the two of us just got talking about horror films and some of the other things that we're interested in, and it turned out that we've got a lot of things in common. So again, I'm really looking forward to having another chat with Andy, just as a buddy, just to talk things over, talk a little bit more about some horror films and geek it out a bit. Massive Joker fans as well, which is awesome. So yeah, it was such a lovely experience. If you'd like to be on the Warriors of Dystonia podcast, please do get in touch with me. You can either reach me at the website, which is warriorsofdystonia.wordpress.com. And you can also find me on both Instagram and Facebook. If you just do a search for Warriors of Dystonia, feel free to just shoot me a message, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. At this current moment, it's October the 15th, and over the next couple of months I'm going to continue working on the Warriors of Dystonia book. I've got a lot of editing and work to do, and that does mean that there might be a slight delay in either me replying to you, or almost certainly in us being able to actually record the podcast. But I would still like people to get in touch with me if they're interested in being on the show, so that I can create a kind of waiting list, which I'll then work my way through at the earliest opportunity. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best.